He beat Mike Tyson not once, but twice. He's the only four-time heavyweight champion in history. He earned over $200 million, and then lost every single cent. Then, at an age when most fighters are long retired, he staged a comeback that stunned the entire world. This is the raw, untold story of Evander, the real deal Holyfield, the warrior who simply refused to quit, no matter how hard life punched him back. Imagine being a kid, one of 9 siblings, growing up in Atlanta, with absolutely nothing. No money, no connections, just a dream burning inside you. That was Evander Holyfield's reality. His mother told him, "You can be anything you want to be, but you can't quit." Those words became the foundation of his entire life. From those humble beginnings, he started boxing, channeling all his energy, all his hunger, into the ring. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest, but he had a heart that wouldn't be denied. He worked his way up, fight by fight, dreaming of Olympic gold. Then came the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles. Holyfield was dominating. He was on a clear path to the final, to that gold medal he'd dreamed of his whole life. In the semifinal, he was destroying his opponent. Then, after the referee yelled break, Holyfield threw a late punch, and his opponent went down. The referee disqualified him. Just like that, the dream was stolen. He stood on the podium, receiving a bronze medal, tears streaming down his face. But that heartbreak didn't break him. It forged him. It lit a fire inside him that would never go out. He turned pro, promising himself that no one, ever again, would have the power to take his destiny away from him. He was unstoppable. He tore through the cruiserweight division, unifying all the belts. But that wasn't enough. He wanted the biggest prize in sports, the heavyweight championship of the world. Everyone said he was too small. He was a natural cruiserweight moving up to face giants. But Holyfield didn't listen. In 1990, he faced the undisputed champion, Buster Douglas, the man who had just pulled off the biggest upset in boxing history by knocking out Mike Tyson. Holyfield didn't just win. He demolished him. In 3 short rounds, he knocked Douglas out cold. Evander Holyfield, the kid from Atlanta, was the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. But his defining moments were yet to come. By 1996, Mike Tyson was back, the most feared man on the planet, once again. Holyfield was seen as a washed-up underdog. No one gave him a chance. Commentators were genuinely worried for his safety. But Holyfield knew something they didn't. He had faith, and he had a game plan. What happened that night was one of the greatest upsets in sports history. Holyfield took Tyson's best shots and walked right through them. He battered the bully, outfought him, and in the 11th round, the referee had to step in to save a beaten Tyson. Holyfield had done the impossible. The rematch in 1997 became one of the most infamous events in sports. Tyson, frustrated and unable to solve the Holyfield puzzle, did the unthinkable. In a clinch, he bit off a piece of Holyfield's ear. The fight was stopped. Holyfield won by disqualification, and the world was in shock. But think about the composure, the discipline it took for Holyfield not to retaliate in that moment. He remained a champion, even when faced with pure chaos. With fame came unbelievable fortune. Over the course of his career, Holyfield earned more than $200 million. But the money came as fast as it went. He lived a life of excess. He bought a mansion with 109 rooms. He owned over 100 cars. He was generous to a fault, but his spending was out of control. By 2008, the empire had crumbled. The mansion was foreclosed. The cars were sold. The man who had earned over $200 million was broke. The headlines were brutal. From champion to broke. It was a public humiliation. To make matters worse, doctors had diagnosed him with a heart condition years earlier, telling him he could die if he continued to fight. He was broke, he was getting older, and his body was supposedly failing him. For any normal person, this would be the end. But Evander Holyfield is not a normal person. He remembered his mother's words, "You can't quit." So, he didn't. He got back in the gym. He started training again, pushing his body past limits that men half his age couldn't handle. In 2011, at 48 years old, he stepped back into the ring for a major fight. People called it sad. They said he was risking his health for a payday, but he shocked the world again, winning the fight and earning a reported $20 million in that single night. He clawed his way back from financial ruin, one punch at a time. It wasn't just about the money. It was about proving to himself and to the world that he was still the real deal. After finally hanging up the gloves, Holyfield didn't just fade away. He got smart. He quietly began to rebuild his fortune, not with his fists, but with his mind. He invested in real estate. He launched his own successful line of grills. He leaned into his faith. He built a quiet, new empire worth an estimated $100 million. He learned from his mistakes and built a legacy of resilience outside the ring that was just as impressive as the one inside it. Today, at 62 years old, he still trains every single day, not for a fight, but for life. He never had the power of Foreman, the speed of Ali, or the fearsome aura of Tyson. What he had was something more powerful, a refusal to stay down. His story is the ultimate proof that real champions aren't the ones who never fall. They are the ones who get knocked down 10 times and get up 11. They bend, they bleed, but they never, ever break. This spirit, this warrior mindset, is what we're building with the Johanna tribe. We are the 2025 version of Holyfield's gym, a community of warriors who understand that getting knocked down is part of the game. The real victory is in getting up, every single time. If you've ever been counted out, if you've ever been told you're finished, but your heart still beats like a champion, then this tribe was built specifically for you. We're not looking for the people who have never failed. We're looking for the ones who have, and are ready to come back stronger. We are building unbreakable empires together, lifting each other up, training each other, and investing in our collective success. If you know you're the real deal, if you have that unshakable Holyfield spirit inside you, we want to hear from you. Send your CV in just one sentence that proves you have what it takes to the email address in the description below. Remember, the fight is never over. For us, it's just beginning. Join the real ones.